Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Scorpio in January 2020. What is going on, Scorpio? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, Scorpio, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, Happy New Year to you. Regardless of whether you're a returning viewer or not, you're welcome here, and I hope you had a wonderful, Happy New Year. I myself did. I threw a party for my friends and family. It was a great time. I think everybody enjoyed themselves. If they didn't tell me. So anyway, I hope your New Year is going well. I hope your holiday season went well. I am returning from being sort of on a little bit of a hiatus due to the holiday and, you know, just relaxing and stuff like that for about 2.5 weeks. So a little behind schedule with the monthlies here for January, but here I am, returned, getting ready to get back into the swing of things. So anyway, Scorpio, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. The timestamp, as you may or may not know, is already in the description box if you choose to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have questions before you actually place an order, you can email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as possible. Anything other than that, please excuse me. I am getting over a cold, so there might be a little bit of a coughing, maybe, you know, some excessive sniffling or something like that. And also, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff if you enjoy yourself here and if you like my content, okay? Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Please show me Scorpio's outcome in January 2020. Please show me Scorpio's outcome in 2020, please. Thank you. What is that smell? That's such a... No, thank you. This is very interesting. Getting your cards out for the spread was fairly easy. Getting this outcome to arrive is a little bit of a tricky thing. Plus, I'm reminded of something. I don't know what this smell is. It's like taking me back to grade school. What is that? Whoa, is it this? Yes or no, is it this? Yes, okay, thank you. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And it came face down, but I went and flipped it anyway, so there's your outcome. Let's flip the rest that came face down. My nails are not grown long enough yet. Okay. Come on. Okay, something like that. Interesting. I don't know what this vibe is. I'm like, I have a smell that nobody else would recognize. It's like from my memory. Like I'm in like, this is like a 3rd grade thing, like at my classroom in 3rd grade. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what this is, Scorpio. So let's just go ahead and move on and let's see if it plugs in to the reading. I don't know. All right, so please show me where Scorpio is in January 2020. Please show me Scorpio in January 2020. Please show me. Wow, unclear. Show me again, please. Okay. So show me more time. Show me. Wow, okay, that's okay. I guess we'll talk about that. All right, so I'll explain it, but I'm going to pick up the first card just before I explain this. So, Scorpio, coming into January 2020, you come in with the Queen of Pentacles. So, what I was feeling very quickly is I ask them to show me on the board where each sign is. Sometimes it jumps between 2 places. Sometimes it's kind of hard to pin down. They really only showed me or allowed me to consider 3 cards. There's 6, obviously, on the board. So I'm thinking you're confined to something is what that, like, the reason I'm talking about it, I think the reason I'm compelled to talk about it is because you're confined to something. That's the best I can say it. It's like between this, and this, you're confined to it. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. Oh God, what is this going to be? You guys always get some deep readings from me, and it's probably going to be a long one. I hope not, but let's just go ahead with it. So, Scorpio, Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with an Earth sign, but you don't have to be. Very mindful of your money, very mindful of your possessions, perhaps protective of those things, perhaps taking stock of those things, taking inventory of what belongs to you, of what is of value to you. Because the qualities of the queens are nurturers, are givers, they're expressive energies, they're quote unquote motherly. You don't have to be a mother to relate to this message. You could be a man and relate to this message. It has nothing to do with femaleness, but it has to do with aspects of femininity, which is to take care of, which is to provide care to and nurture towards something. In the case of this energy right now for you, Scorpio, you are nurturing your material side. You're nurturing the things that you value. Objects, possessions, money, in some cases, or to some certain degrees, certain relationships that you value, but they're really drawing me more to like objects, things that are tangible in this world that have a certain place in your heart or importance in your life. Yeah. So, this queen, aside from this being the happy deck, does look incredibly enthralled with that pentacle that she has. I think some of you are recognizing you may have had money in places that you didn't know, or you may have had resources that you didn't recognize before. There's something about not only taking stock and care of what you already possess, it's like realizing, oh, these are my untapped resources. These are the avenues that I haven't explored to gain more towards my material self or my material stability, my material abundance. Again, I don't want to aim it all to be on money, and I don't want it to come off as if Scorpio is being materialistic. Thank you. This is a preparation. The queen, similar to the king, I consider them both to be the masters of their suit. So the king and the queen are masters of their particular suit, in this case, pentacles. And what does a master do? A master is never left in the lurch. A master of something, of anything. Doesn't have to be in tarot. It could be anything. You could be a master of, jujitsu or something like that. You are always aware of what you are the master of. So I feel as though this is like a preparation. I feel as though Scorpio is laying the foundation of something. And it's the part of this that's kind of interesting is that it's being done in such a quiet, mousy, minuscule way that people are unaware. Oh, here we go. You, Gemini, and Virgo, I have been reminded steadily for those 3 signs to remember back to previous readings I've done. And I think for your December, if not November reading, there was something about secrets. And I feel that there's something here, honestly. Yes, thank you. They're like, yep, absolutely. You're doing things on the quiet, which is normal for Scorpio. That's what you guys are known to do. And that's fine. But I'm telling you, like, the impact of what you are doing quietly or what you are realizing quietly, if you realized, this is just an example, and to kind of pull it away from, because I don't want to know, nope, they're like, nope, you can't. I don't want to know anything more than, it's on the hush. But to bring it back towards, pentacles, some of you might realize, like, you may have, like, an investment account or a savings account somewhere that you forgot about. Sometimes people have these things that you haven't considered. And, and I'm bringing it back specifically to money just to illustrate a point. let's say you forgot that you had a savings account or an account with a credit union or something like that. And you've had that account for like 8 years. And you opened that account with like 5 grand in it or something like that. You haven't touched it in all this time. And now, you know, for some reason, you're trying to get your finances in order. You're trying to, you know, make a list of and kind of have a very conscious understanding of all of your assets. And you say, oh, the credit union of blah, 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 or, you know, whatever bank you're invested in. You go back and check that account and you realize, oh my God, instead of 5 grand, now it's 9. Now it's 7 grand. Now it's 10, whatever. It's like, you realize that to yourself, or you go check on that account and you keep that shit under wraps. There's something here about being excited, because that queen does look very excited, right? To realize what you have, but you're not necessarily sharing that information with other people, because there's something bigger going on for you. And, you know, Godspeed. And the reason I say that is because, yeah, there's always more. Thank you. You guys are so clever. Look at what's down there in the grass. He's got a little rabbit down there. Rabbits indicate fertility or abundance, right? When we look at them. And those are just like 2 of the big things associated with rabbits. But also note, there's only one. Whenever do you see one rabbit? What is like the cliched imagery or the very common imagery that we associate with rabbits? They multiply. You see one, there's like at least 4 or 5, 16 more down in the little, you know, the little rabbit hole where they live, right? So there's more to this Queen of Pentacles situation. There's more to her resources. There's more to what she's valuing or weighing up in value than what meets the eye. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want people to know that there's more going on for you than what they can discern, than what they can see. That's interesting. Now, see, they keep hammering me on this feeling of secrecy. And I look down at that Queen of Pentacles and I'm like, really? This person has secrets? Absolutely. And if it's not you, Scorpio, it's someone else. It is a general. It can go the other way. But this is unsuspecting behavior. The way that you're performing and living your life, people wouldn't know that you're in this evaluation period, that you're up there counting your money. You know, this could be, you know, in terms of family, in terms of business, in terms of partnership of all kinds. You could be, you know, stacking your chips, you know, writing down an itemized list of everything that you own in a situation, everything that belongs to you in order for something else down the line. That's what this feels like. I don't want to say that is happening in all of your cases, but that's sort of what this is. Whether it's because you are planning something or whether it's a just in case kind of mentality that you have. Just in case things go awry, in case things go sideways here, I am going to do this. This is preparation. And I don't think anybody really knows, except me, because I'm doing your reading. But honestly, I don't even know why or what I don't know. But I feel it. And again, I'm looking down at this queen and I'm just like, because that's the other thing. Again, queens are open, they're nurturing, they don't usually hold secrets. If any of the queens were to hold secrets, I might say the Queen of Cups, maybe the Queen of Swords a little bit. The Queen of Pentacles I don't view as a secrecy energy, but I energetically, that's what's going on. And if it's not you again, it's someone else. Now, what happens what happens next? What happens next? Okay. What? This is like, oh my God, that's too many at once. That's a lot of different images they gave me. That's a lot of different energies or feelings that I got there. And hodgepodge is what that felt like. One more time. Please show me what happens next. So, okay. Oh. Someone is surprised. You're surprising someone. Or there's a surprise in the situation. Someone is caught off guard, basically. And that's kind of exactly what is it. Oh, God. So someone's caught off guard, interestingly, who's next door. Queen of Cups energy, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be you. Again, it's a general. You could go either way, but I'm actually not going to say that these queens are one and the same person. I think that they're two different people. Queen of Cups energy, but in the reverse. So you've caught this person unawares. Whoever this person... Okay. When I used to play like card games and board games with my family, like especially something like Monopoly, where like you go, like when you go past go, you're supposed to collect $200. When I was little and used to play that game with my mom or my uncles or something like that, or even like my brother or something, and we would play that game. As a young kid, I'd be like, okay, go past go, and like I'm building up little houses, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot my $200, and I'm like, can I have my $200? They're like, no, you slept on that. So that's what this is, or we caught you sleeping. Is the turn of phrase, right? So you slept on it or you were caught sleeping. That's what this feels like to me. Where this Queen of Cups is expectant of something and they're not going to get it. Hopefully it's as simple as collecting $200 for pass and go, but since we're not playing a board game here, I'm going to assume it's more impactful than that. This is someone that you're close with. This is someone that you share some type of significant relationship with. It could be sisters. We do have two queens, so it could be a familial situation between you and your sister, or you and your brother, you and your grandfather, you and whoever. It could be a familial thing. It could be friendship. It could be lovers, dating, spouses. It doesn't really matter. But there's a presumed equality going on here. Why do I say that? Because they're both queens. You know, you're not dealing with someone who's a page or a knight or even a king. You're dealing with someone who's your equal, someone who is your partner, someone is your partner in crime, someone is I don't want to say a reflection of you, but you're very similar. You know, these are the two feminine queens, okay? Pentacles and Cups are the feminine suits in tarot related to earth and water, the feminine elements when we talk about, you know, esoteric or metaphysical spaces, right? So there's this common sensitivity between you and this person. There are common sensibilities that I think you have built up over time. There's like this camaraderie. There's a very distinct link between you and this person. And there's a trust between you and this person. Interesting. I'm not sensing a violation of trust, but I think that there's a reliance on trust that is kind of going to make this person feel like an idiot. This Queen of Cups is not going to see this coming, whatever it is. And here's what's coming. It's like the rug is pulled out from underneath someone's feet. That's what this is. There's some type of change, some type of alteration, some type of upheaval in some cases, or just a development that is going on that this person doesn't suspect. This person, Queen of Cups, it could be you. You know, again, this is default your element, right? Cups, related to the water sign. So this could be you, but I asked where you were, and I felt very confident in that you're the one who's the Queen of Pentacles, Scorpio. You're the one who's making moves in secret, on the low, very quiet. And this person thinks everything is sort of status quo. Everything is sort of hunky-dory. And I'm not sensing that you're doing anything vindictive for the most part. Some of you might be, but, you know, just to be fair, I'm going to say most of you are not. In some cases, some of you are being quite dastardly and dubious, yeah? And that is kind of... because you've known this person a long time, because you guys share similar sensibilities or personality traits, like I think them trusting you works to your advantage. Some of you are leaning on that, like relying on them having trust with you. And I don't know why, but this person is just like not expecting whatever you're doing. If this is about, you know, having business with someone, if this is about sharing finances or resources with someone, there is a chance that you are getting ready to sort of cut that supply or draw a line in the sand. Like I said, some of you are like itemizing things in a space, going around and saying, okay, that's my Apple Watch. that is my Apple Mac Pro, da 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 da. Like you're about to run around with like a little labeler and like put your name on it. Scorpios, Scorpios, Scorpios. And like you live with this person, or you share a workspace with this person. Like if you're like a creative type, or you know, maybe you share a studio space with this person, and maybe previously, you know, you guys have created all kinds of art with each other, all kinds of projects with each other, and you've used each other's materials. Again, doing an inventory on things that belong to you and that you value in the material space. And this person is used to going over, picking up one of your paintbrushes, going over, you know, taking, you know, things from your supply closet or whatever. And now you're just like, you know what? I'm not in the mood to share, or there's a reason. I don't know why, but Scorpio is just like, nope, this is now mine and that's yours. And there's a separation going on of possessions, of things of value, of resources. So this person comes in the next day or whenever after you've busted out the label maker, right? And they go over to reach for your shit and you're like, no, no, no. You see the name there? It says Scorpio. Do not touch. And this person's like, huh? What? How come? And you might not explain a damn thing to them, but they're very surprised. You see how I'm like a little tongue-tied? That might be this person. Because it comes out of nowhere from their perspective. It comes out of nowhere. For you, Scorpio, it's been leading up to this. You, as Scorpio tends to do, oh yes, go ahead. They're reminding me of certain interactions I've had with Scorpios over my life. Scorpio often is so insular, internal, and in their own head, and they are, you know, moving pieces around in their life, and they're, you know, if I do this, then that'll happen, and then, you know, step by step by step by step, and, you know, they're really strategizing things. You strategize so much in your head that you somehow come out of yourself when you deal with people in the external, that you take for granted that these people know that you've been doing this. No, I did not know that. So that's the thing. And that's why I think I'm not able to find quote unquote malice on your side, because I think, again, empathic person doing the reading, so I feel what you're feeling. I think that you forget that people don't know what you're thinking, that people don't know your intentions. All they get to see normally is Scorpio today is acting this way, and then within 24 hours, Scorpio has labeled everything in the office or labeled everything in the house, and it says their name on it, and I can't touch it. It wasn't like that 24 hours ago. Scorpio's like, yeah, that's what's going on now. Nobody got a memo, Scorpio. You didn't inform anybody that this is what you were doing. It's all been in your head. It's all been in your internal workshop. You've been thinking and planning this for a long time. Pentacles, for a long time. You've been building towards this change, or building towards this new display of, or this new standard of operation. And then this person's just like thinking it's the status quo is still in play. You did not release a memo. You did not give anybody an update. You did not let anybody know this is what you've been working on. And so now that the new status quo is upon us, and the new way of operating is upon us, this person is caught unaware. And they're very shocked. Tongue-tied like I was a few moments ago. Not sure what to do. It might not feel so great for whoever this person is. I'm not sure that you care. You might, in some of your cases, you might. But because, and the reason I say that is because, again, Scorpio is so insular, so internal, that what you create as reality in your mind, when it comes to implementing it on the external space, you're kind of like a dog with a bone, and you're not going to be dissuaded because someone is just like confused. Like they'll be like, Scorpio, I don't understand. You're like, I don't have time to explain it to you. This is what's happening. And they're like, but wait, well, what happened there? What happened here? And how come this? And how come that? And you're just like, this is just what it is. And like, you don't want to explain yourself, or you forget that they don't know all of the things you've thought of, all of the things that you've planned for, that you strategize for. They don't understand or have any clue of your reasoning. And a lot of times Scorpio doesn't feel the need to explain it. Or feels explaining it is like a waste of time. Because, you know, that fixed energy as well. Now that I have my plan together, now that I've strategized, and now that I have it set up for what I want to do, I'm going to execute and do exactly what I want to do, regardless of anybody else's input. Yeah? So this person caught unawares, you're doing your thing. Yeah, buddy, come on. So we get this Five of Swords. That's probably you winning. This came out for Gemini, I think. I think this was for Gemini's reading. A few people have gotten this. This has come up a few times in January. And I don't know why I'm mentioning Gemini. If you're dealing with a Gemini, you know, and you have reason to want to look at their video, feel free. Five of Swords. You get what you want, or you get some type of result, or things start to move in a certain direction that you're happy with. However, it can be kind of God, I can never say this word, a hollow victory. Meaning, you know, this is like cut your nose to spite your face kind of energy. It's not pleasant. There is sort of like a unnecessary sacrifice here, or unnecessary strife, unnecessary challenge, unnecessary grief that might, you know, basically what I just said. You could have explained yourself along the way. I'm planning to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to come in and I'm going to lock up all my shit that's in the supply closet, or I'm just going to remove all the things that I possess in this space away from you or away from these other people because I don't want to share. Or here's what I'm doing financially. I'm making a list and I'm getting a working knowledge of all of my assets because I plan to divest from this business, or I plan to open up separate accounts for my money. Whatever you have done internally, you could have expressed that to someone outside of yourself. You did not. And so because you did not, you get what you want. You're the one with all the swords, right? But then you see in the background, there are two people walking away. So there now becomes a distance. There now becomes some type of a void, really? I don't want to say void, because I don't think it's a void. I don't think it's a void between you and other people. I don't think like there's this impasse. Maybe, okay, that's a better word. Thank you. You might find yourself at an impasse with people. You might find yourself, like I said earlier about this Queen of Cups, and you. There is some type of trust, and that's the other thing. If Scorpio has risked breaking or bending the trust between themselves and another person, Scorpio is making big plans. You know, in case there's a cross watcher who's dealing with a Scorpio, Scorpio does not take lightly crossing the boundaries of or violating the idea and the concept of trust. If Scorpio has bent or broken the trust between you, you best know that they don't value you or your relationship the way that they used to. If they do it and they don't apologize, you can guarantee that they have now shifted the way that they value your relationship. If they do it and they apologize, that means they've considered you. That means that they're most likely genuine, most likely very sorry. But if they do it and they make no bones about it, they do it and basically tell you to like it or lump it, you best believe you have been reevaluated. The relationship you share, the work that you do together, the time that you, whatever is changing. Scorpio has reevaluated it. Now, I say it's a hollow victory because of that impasse that now exists. The Queen of Cups also values trust, whoever they are, right? So this person might feel, hey, Scorpio, what you just did, you know, busting out the label maker, telling me what's yours and what's mine, and keeping our objects, keeping the things that we value separate, separating your money from my money if this is like a household issue. This person might say, hey, that doesn't feel nice to me. Why did you do that? This is like a little bit of a well, not a little bit. This is a violation of the trust that exists between us, and that causes the Queen of Cups to kind of go cold, to kind of walk off and maybe be a little bit sulky or angry or disappointed or whatever it is. I'm gonna tell you, Scorpio has already planned for this. Even if it hurts them, even if they don't like to see it, because God, whatever Scorpio is wanting, they're like a dog with a bone. They're not going to be convinced otherwise. That's why this has all happened on the internal. That's why Scorpio hasn't expressed it to you or anybody else. And now I'm talking to the damn crosswatcher. So I don't know. Hi, crosswatcher. But Scorpio, I can tell you, you have kept this on the internal and kept this so quiet because you know whatever you're changing or whatever you're weighing up and all that kind of stuff, to be open about it, to express it, to share what you've been thinking and feeling and working on, would have confused things for you more than they already are confused. Okay, I've got to say that there already was some confusion. Why share it? You know, why make it any worse than it needs to be? Let me just go ahead and deal with this on my own. So doing this work by yourself, to some degree you get what you want, but you realize you might be in a position to lose something quite significant. I don't know. Even as I say that, I feel like many Scorpios are just like, but it had to be done. So maybe the aspect of unnecessary sacrifice that I mentioned with the Five of Swords, that might be from the perspective of outsiders. Meaning the Queen of Cups, me as your tarot reader, your best friend who you tell about this after it all falls out, after everything, this is like down the line. You might be having conversations, months from now, telling people what happened back in January 2020. And your friends look at you like, what? How come you didn't tell me? It was better that I didn't tell anybody. And from your friends or other outside perspectives, it might look to them as if you are making sacrifices that you don't have to. I feel that Scorpio, again, the empathic in me, the empathic tendency in me says, Scorpio has decided a long time ago, or over a long period of time, I should say, that you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, so to speak. Wow. This is a very interesting energy, that Five of Swords. Because it's been around in other readings, and I had totally different interpretations of it. But, that's tarot anyway. So, what happens next? Well, you're looking right at it. You get what you want. Ace of Pentacles. Say what? Now, Scorpio, this is what you've been after. A new start. A new road to walk down. A new path. New investment. New money. Look at how happy that cloud is to be holding on to that pentacle. Like I said, for some of you, this is strictly about money. I'm not able to connect with that wholly, but I can tell you that for those where this is about money or some type of material resource to you, you're going to get it. Or you're going to see something that you didn't see before. You're going to see the value in something. Is that okay? I'm like, give me something, because I want to understand this. I'm able to say that without saying it aloud. And so they finally showed me something. You know that show on PBS, Antiques Roadshow? Or any show similar to that, where people go into their attics or their basements and they find, old memorabilia that was left to them by their grandparents, great-grandparents, or whatever. They dust it off and they take it on this show to be, evaluated. And so that's what they're showing me. Like this idea of whatever you're finding could actually be things in the basement, things in the closet, things in the attic. And you go and you get them appraised, right? And so you might be sitting there strapped for cash, panicked about money, or, you're like this close to having to sell your home or get a second mortgage or whatever you're having to do. And then you go and you find great Grandpa Bo's, saxophone, and it turns out like this is like some saxophone that's worth like, not 50, but let's say it's like worth like 10 grand or something like that, or some significant amount of money. You have dug deep or, explored so many avenues to get this Ace of Pentacles. When you get it, it's like, I don't know. Maybe, you know, selling Grandpa Bo's saxophone is like a slap in the face to like your aunt Susie or something like that. That was my father's saxophone. He played it in World War One when he was overseas fighting. Blah 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 blah. How could you sell it? And you're just like, because I need the money. You know, the sentiment of it, you respect it to a certain degree. In this specific example, please pull it out and apply it to your situation. But Scorpio has already evaluated the sentimentality of it. Okay, it was my great-grandpa Bo's. I understand that my Aunt Susie would probably want to have this back, but when the appraiser said this thing was worth $15,000, I said, give me my check. You see what I mean? So it's beneficial to you to sell the family heirloom, or to sell, you know, this very valuable item. But to someone else in the family, or someone else who's close to you, good old Queen of Cups up here, who trusted you to take care of Grandpa Bo's memorabilia, she's like, or he, you know, no gender, but this Queen of Cups is just like, how could you do this, Scorpio? And they're looking at you, holding on to what you've won, to the it's just like, on your side of things, Scorpio, it is, oh God, I hate this phrase. It is what it is. I hate that phrase so much. It is what it is, and to a certain degree, Aunt Susie has to like it or lump it, because you needed that money. In order to keep a roof over my head, to keep a roof over my kids' heads, I had to sell this, you know, dusty old saxophone, because we really needed the money. You weren't going to give me 50 grand or 15 grand, Aunt Susie. You weren't going to pay these bills. I had to take care of this. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Because again, Scorpio with that Queen of Pentacles energy is in a place of, I am sorting through my life, prioritizing and weighing up all the things that matter to me. I have children. I have a wife. I have a husband, whatever. I have all these things that, or these people that rely on me. And I was not able to go and get a loan. You know, I wasn't in any position to get a second mortgage. I wasn't wanting to foreclose on the house. So I found another way. Sell all that stuff that's in the attic. Yes, there's sentimental value. Yes, it's kind of maybe a slap in the face to my Aunt Susie, but guess what? I got other things that are more important to me that I have to take care of. There are other people that rely on me, that I'm responsible for. I have other obligations. Like, and maybe that then becomes like a circle of a slap in the face, because the five of swords is contentious energy between you and other people. It can be argumentative, it can be kind of volatile, but it is essentially, you know, this person didn't engage in fisticuffs, or sword play rather, not fisticuffs, but this person didn't engage in sword play by themselves. These other two people that are walking off, they also had a hand in this contentious energy, right? So as much as Aunt Susie is telling you, hey, you know, what about the memory of your great-grandpa Bo? And you're sitting there like, so you're telling me because of the memory of someone, I'm supposed to see my family out on the streets, screw saxophone or whatever, is more valuable to me turned into cash that can save my house. Like, screw you. Like, I'm not going to put myself in the poorhouse because of memories of a dead person. I'm sorry. Like, no offense to you, no offense to Aunt Susie, no offense to anybody. But there's like a little bit of like a two slaps in the face. You slap the face of them because you're willing to sell off a piece of memorabilia. And then they're slapping you in the face because they're wanting you to, you know, see yourself out on the streets. Excuse me. No way. No way. That's irresponsible. That's stupid. Impasse. I did say that word, impasse. So that kind of is, okay. Yes, the value. Right above that Ace of Pentacles. Here's the value. Here's the home I've built. Or here's the thing that I'm after. If you haven't built a home together, you could be a solo dolo Scorpio. You do not have to be, you know, married with kids or anything like that to relate to that storyline of Aunt Susie. You could be living, you know, in a nice little apartment. But for some reason, you've held on to Grandpa Bo's saxophone all these years, and now it's your property to sell. You know, maybe it was left to you in the will, for God's sakes. You know, let me go back to that really quickly. For some reason, not for some reason, let's just clarify. If Scorpio is doing anything with possessions, with items, with material things, they actually belong to Scorpio. I'm not sensing in most cases that Scorpio has stepped over a line. It's not like you went into some other person's attic, some other person's basement, and took things that didn't belong to you and now you're selling them on eBay. No. Everything that you're doing over here is within your purview. So, to take it away from that, example of the saxophone, it could be money. Ooh, who was that? Who was that for? Damn, was it for Gemini? If some of you are dealing with a Gemini, go watch. It might have been Gemini. If it wasn't, it was some other sign earlier this month, and I can't remember who. I think it was Gemini. I could be wrong. Oh no, it was Aries. I think it was Aries. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But it's coming up again where I'm seeing people who are putting into a common account, like a household account, a joint bank account, whatever. Friends, family, husband, wife, it doesn't matter. And Scorpio may decide, you know what, I'm not going to put any more money into that account for whatever reason. I don't know the reasons. Again, that's the secret that I'm not allowed to know because you all have different motivations and, it's hard to get secrets out of Scorpios. So I'm just going to leave it be. Now, you taking money out of an account or stop putting money into an account comes up as a red flag to somebody. But the principle is this. It is my money. My money. I earned it. Whether I worked for it, whether it was given to me in a will, an inheritance, if I got a payout on an insurance claim, the check came in my name. It said pay to the order of Scorpio. It didn't say pay to the order of Scorpio and the Queen of Cups. It said pay to the order of Scorpio. Right? So Scorpio is being to the letter, by the book, within their rights to do what they want to do. I'm going to tell you that. And that's why I had to clarify that, because here we go. Four of Wands. This is about foundations. This is about solid structures in our lives, whether it's actual physical buildings or relationships or whatever, but things that we have built for ourselves or we've built in tandem or in partnership with other people. And there is a deeply vested interest of the individual in the Four of Wands. Now, often the Four of Wands does talk about marriages, does talk about happy homes or some type of home life, whether you're actually single. It could talk about the home that you share with your parents or your roommates, your best friends, your brothers, your sisters, whatever. But it does talk about a significant place that more than one person puts their energy and effort towards, or their resources towards. Now, this becomes complicated because I think that this four of Wands, it is next to the Queen of Cups. So many of you, again, you share a space, you share particular possessions or something with other people. But now, for the reasons I cannot get into because they won't let me and I don't really want to know, it's too much. That's why. They're like, it's too much. You can't know because it's too much. I don't know what this... Clean that up because... God. Holy shit. Listen. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. It's true. They reminded me of a situation that I went through like years ago, like over 10 years ago at this point. And I was on more the receiving end of this, or rather, well, I don't know. Anyway, here's an example. Let's say this was two friends living together. Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Two friends. Been friends for a long time, lived together for a long time. You work together, you live together, whatever. You share a common area. So you share an apartment or you share a workspace like an art studio or something like that. Here's the thing. The inception point of that rental, the apartment, the studio space, whatever. Whose name is on the lease? Queen of Pentacles. Whose name's not on the lease? Queen of Cups. Who then has purview and responsibility and obligation to the property? Who has claim on the property? The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles. Not the Queen of Cups. Okay? That's a technicality. Because for years, you guys have shared this space together. You worked here, you lived here. You know, everything was common. Everything was shared. Because of things internally on Scorpio's side, Queen of Pentacles side, there now is a line drawn in the sand. This is mine. It belongs to me. I am interested in having a new something, not a new something, but I'm interested in securing this as mine. And here's the thing. Technically, Queen of Cups, you have no claim here. Now, I don't think it's gotten to the point in most of your cases. In some of your cases, it's quite nasty. It's developed into something very difficult, right? But in most cases, I think that Scorpio is more than ready and willing and able to pull out the documents that say, who is the leasee here? Who is the owner here? Who, whatever. This is mine. This energy, these two together, Scorpio is very interested in saying, this is mine. Don't make me be this way. Was that also in one of your previous readings? It could have been. They're reminding me it could have been. Don't make me have to be this way, essentially. Don't make me have to be this way. Don't make me have to prove it to you that I was within my rights to secure something the way I've done it. Now, if you're curious, the thing that I was reminded of is because I had a little bit of a situation similar to that, but I was more the Queen of Cups. Things changed around me, and I was just like, oh, well, technically, I'm not on the lease, so I left. That's all I'm going to leave it as. So I vacated a place knowing I had no obligation to it. Okay? I think the reverse is happening here. I'm not sensing that you're kicking anybody out. I'm not sensing that you're telling people where to go. But I think, like I said, Scorpio is drawing a line in the sand. Do not cross this line because I'm within my rights to do what I've done. If you have a problem with that, Aunt Susie, if you feel I've slapped you in the face because I sold that saxophone, whatever, that's how you feel. I apologize for that. Maybe. Again, some Scorpios, if they haven't apologized, they have changed how they value the relationship. If they do apologize, they still care and they don't want you to be hurt about it. But if they didn't apologize, you best believe you've gone down a peg or two in their estimation. Now, I feel this for... Okay. Fuck. Okay. This has now become a little bit more complicated because I look down... Oh, fuck. I look down, and again, I'm reminded this is about... Many cases, this is about a domestic situation. This is about marriage or some type of family home. And, these are, they could be, but they wanted me to say children. So children in some of your cases are very integral here. They're very important. And, okay, listen. No, don't want to say that. Nope, not going to. Remove it. Thank you. I don't want to do that. What don't you want to do, Jay? How come you're censoring yourself? I'm censoring myself because this, for the most part, is not a quote-unquote negative reading. I'm mostly connecting to Scorpios that are going through something that's workable, manageable. What I was just connecting to was less manageable, less nice, and I don't want to express that because as the reader, I don't want to. I don't want to go that route. But basically, just to sum up what it is, things can get nasty in a home situation if there are children involved. And Scorpio is amassing an arsenal, whether that's good or bad, to go to war over a home or a domestic situation that involves kids. That's it. Yep, moving on. Don't want to get into it. Six of Swords, final card in your main spread. Listen, kind of what I was just getting away from. Whatever difficulties you're involved in, the Queen of Cups is involved in, whatever bad blood exists between you and them or any other people, let's get out of here, is the Six of Swords. Let's be done with that. There is this moving away energy, whether that be actual moving from one location to another. That is often indicated in the Six of Swords, but more than anything, I think that this is someone wants to be done dealing with crap, to be done dealing with choppy, difficult energies, difficult situations. I think for the most part, historically, things have been copacetic between you and the you and the Queen of Cups. Things have been mostly copacetic. But because you're doing things on the sly, on the low, or you're showing up within a 24-hour period. What happened, you could have said goodnight to someone, I'll see you in the morning. They show up in the morning. They go to put their key in the door, and the key doesn't work. And they call you up, hey, Scorpio, I'm at the art studio. I'm trying to go to work. I'm trying to, work on our project, and now the key doesn't work. And you're like, yeah, I know, the locks are changed. That then is like, I don't know. Oh my God. I don't want to, no, go away. I don't want that. Go away. Remove it. I don't want that. Thank you. Listen, your motivations and the way that you do things, Scorpio, that's your choice, that's your business. How other people do, that's their business as well. What I'm sensing is the timing and the revelation or the reveal or the expression of what is actually going on can intensify the choppy waters that the Six of Swords has to navigate out of. That might be a lesson for a few of you, not all of you, okay? I'm not here, trying to be a school marm or, some type of great philosophical leader. No, but that could be a lesson for some of you. I understand the propensity, understand the tendency to want to not get more people involved in the things that you go through internally, because it often will confuse a Scorpio. It will often make things worse for them in how you perceive it. But I'm telling you, in some of these cases, because you didn't tell people what you were doing, it makes the situation a little bit worse than what it should be. But again, I don't know the reasons why you're doing it in secret. You have your reasons. I'm not here to get into them. But yeah. So you, them, everybody involved to a certain degree has to move on from this, has to evolve or progress from this in some type of way. And in some of the cases, this feels forced. Again, your partner, your business partner, God, I don't want to talk about that. The person you live with, the person that you share a home with, if you literally overnight change the locks on a person, as much as it sends a hell of a message of definity, of finality, of well, guess what? Things are not the same anymore. As much as that becomes abundantly clear the moment that key doesn't turn in the keyhole, it also aggravates in a way that maybe it doesn't have to. And again, I'm telling you, I'm not here to, no. I mean, I think there is something going on with Saturn right now, because Saturn is a taskmaster of lessons. So I'm just going to let some of you know that could be a lesson for some of you, that you might have a tendency to do this, not change locks, but like do things at the last minute, reveal the truth of a situation at the last minute, not tell people in important changes or developments that are going on within you that end up affecting the dynamic between you. If you are not expressive and you're secretive, that could be a lesson, because again, I'm telling you, in some of your cases, it aggravates a situation when there was no aggravation necessary. And being the receiver of energies like that previously, and the perpetrator, I'm not gonna lie, I have perpetrated that myself in some instances. I can understand that. It didn't have to go that far. we could have just talked this out, or we could have, you know, if you explained it to me, then I would have done this. And sometimes Scorpio doesn't want to hear all that. You know, sometimes Scorpio, you know, my mind's made up. I've decided I don't want to do this anymore, not in that way, and I'm changing my behavior and I'm changing the circumstances, and that's the end of it. Lord have mercy. What's the outcome here? Hello. 8 of Swords. So, a continuation of this internal disarray, possibly confusion, possibly mismanagement. Okay, that's interesting. For you, for them, for both of you, for everybody involved, I'm not really sure how this comes across, but I feel as though there is, what they showed me was a passing of objects between two hands. So like, it was like this. It was like a passing of the baton. So, oh my God, this is, I'm telling you, for some of you, this is a lot deeper and more complex and quite nasty than I'm wanting to get into, because I think the majority of the people that are going to watch this are not in that energy. For those that are in the heavier energy, if you want some clarification, go ahead and hit me up. But that's where that baton passing is. And man, come on. It feels like in that situation where the energy is exchanging, or the feeling is exchanging. This thing, I keep seeing this, like a hot potato, something like that. It feels as if in some of your cases, Scorpio, you have been living like this or feeling like the 8 of Swords, and now, whether you intend it or not, someone else is going to feel the same way, and maybe that brings a smile to your face. Like, oh, I deal with this all the time, and this person might come to you, you know, calling you up. My key doesn't work on the lock. Part of your heart soars when you hear that, of course. Now you know what I go through. You know, it's like that. Oh. Because this is the outcome, and this feels like it's a repeating thing. This 8 of Swords, it repeats. It happens very regularly, or it happens all the time. It's like a record on a loop. It just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. It keeps playing over and over and over again. As an outcome, I'm not sure what you're meant to do with that, because I think maybe that's it, because this is Pentacles, this is Pentacles. The two action points that I feel for Scorpio, where Scorpio is living, quote unquote, is really in the Queen of Pentacles, is really in the Ace of Pentacles, and a little bit in the 4 of Wands, a little bit. I'm not sure that within the soon-to-be future, there's going to be much change. I think in some cases, especially for those who are cross-watching for Scorpio, I might have let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I think I got a comment on that on a Scorpio video a while ago. I could be wrong, but I feel like I had said something within one of my videos that a commenter, a viewer had said, like, oh, don't tell them, like, you know, you can't be telling them our secrets. Sorry. And I don't even know half of what's going on. I absolutely do not know more than half, nowhere even close to half of whatever the hell's going on Scorpio's side of things, other than the emotional, what I can sympathize with, what I can empathize with. So, as far as an outcome, it feels as though it's not going to get cleaned up in January, or even anywhere within the vicinity of January. Like, I'm not even feeling, probably not until springtime. They're like giving me spring, because you're in these greens and yellows. Green and yellow to me is spring. So for the time being, even if you start to take action now, even if, you know, this person Yes, thank you. This person, this Queen of Cups, my God, Scorpio. Listen, there are reasons. I know there are reasons. But it feels like this Queen of Cups, even after you change the locks, even after you start to divest your money or start to label things as property of Scorpio, this is mine, even after this person might still be like, so what's going on here? Is that what you're doing? Like, are you trying to get someone to understand that we're separating in a way? We are not going to be as close as we were. We are not sharing what we used to share. There is now there's distance here. I want to okay. That's complex, and I don't want to get too much into it because I could go in a whole different way with that. But I feel as though there's something about striking out on your own, being your own person, having your own identity, your own autonomy. I own my own things. I'm in possession of my own things. In some cases, I mentioned that. It might have been in the Scorpio reading several months ago, or it could have been in another reading. I think I mentioned something about financial abuse, okay? I don't know what the fuck this is, but there's something about Scorpios trying to make it known. I do things on my own. I am my own person. I have my own things. And I feel as though this person, I don't want to express that because I was nice earlier, and I don't want to get to that point. But this person's being a little hard-headed, and they're being a little slow on the uptake. My key doesn't work in the lock anymore. Yeah, you know what that usually means when you change locks on a person? It means you don't want to mess with them anymore. Or it means they're not allowed in anymore. This person's just like, so do I get a new key? I changed the locks for a reason. What do you think that reason is, Queen of Cups? See, I'm going to stop because, nope, see? Channeling that's coming from one of you, at least, where you're just like, don't you get it? Moving on. Overall energy, 7 of Cups. Choices, choices, choices. Choices, 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 choices. Okay, so overall, I think Scorpio has been shopping around, window shopping, right? Really shopping around for a way to get to a solution, the way to solve a problem, the way to change their circumstances, to really how to move forward. What do I need? What do I want? What do I expect? What can I offer? What is being offered to me? Like, lots of questions, lots of possibilities have been bouncing around in Scorpio's head for weeks, months. God help you if it's been years. And with the 7 of Cups, I think it's almost like a crapshoot sometimes where it's hard to discern exactly what is the correct move to make. I think in most cases, Scorpios are going to feel quite solid in what they're doing, but there is still this nagging feeling in the back of your mind after you start to make these moves. Is this really the right way to go about it? I don't know. And it could be because you're so fatigued and so tired of trying to figure it out on your own that you just say, fuck it, and you choose one of these options, you choose one of these cups. And the moment you choose it, you're kind of like, but can I be sure? But then another part of you is just like, you know what? Screw it. I've waited too long, or I've been thinking about this too long, or this person over here has not gotten it. So, oh my God, I don't want to go down that route. Please, thank you. Just a little bit. This person, you may have been trying to tell them, I don't want to work with you anymore. I don't want to do this with you anymore, or I don't want to do it in the same way. Let's change this. Let's change that. And this person's been like, I don't know. I think it works right now. And they've just been kind of like happy with the status quo. And you've been saying, I'm not happy with the status quo. I want things to change. I want this to be different. And because they haven't listened, Scorpio now went into their little internal workshop, their little laboratory, their little internal, place. And they have now begun to do things differently. And then something drastic happens. Changing of the locks, removing your name, or saying, pulling out the lease so you can see I'm the leasee here. I'm the person who owns this space, Queen of Cups. Do you get what I'm saying? And this person's just like, I don't understand. What are you trying? I'm done. I don't want to go there. Nope, we're not doing that. Scorpio, that's your reading for January. That is your reading for January 2020. If you liked it, if it resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know how it resonated. You can feel free to share the video across your social media platforms. Let other people know that you like my content and you enjoy me as a reader here on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Why not? You know, maybe I'll come back and give you a follow-up on this situation. God, this could go so long, and I'm not going to do it. I cannot do it. I don't have the time. Scorpio, I'll be back soon to do your mid-monthlies. After that, I'll be back in February for the monthlies and the mids there. I'm going to go live at some point in January for the collective, so be on the lookout for that. If you're subscribed, I'm going to put it on my community tab so you can see when I'm actually going to plan to do that. And the non-communication readings, the no communication readings, I think I'm probably going to have to push those till February because January feels a little tight. So it's probably going to have to come, those are probably going to have to come out in February. So you have that to look forward to as well. Scorpio, congratulations. You got the longest reading so far. Again. But anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really do appreciate it. Take care.